Well, good morning, family. It is 6 minutes past the hour. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. Yours truly, Joe Dupree from 100 BLK, the Black Station in the building, along with my brother from another mother. You know him from the Open Lines Online and Keeping It Real with Reverend Al Sharpton. 107.5 WBLS in New York City. It's Brother Fatim. It is Freedom and Fun Friday. We made it through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday is finally here, the beginning of the weekend, baby. Yeah, family. It's about to go down. Good morning, Brother Fatim. How you doing this morning?
What's up? What's up, Joe? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, my brother. Let me represent the other borough, the boogie down, the Bronx.
Boogie down, boogie down.
New York Yankees
Boogie down,
clinch their division series. They headed to their championship series in the American League side. The Mets are clinched the other night. So if they both win, they both will meet in the World Series. So we will see if the New York Yankees and the New York Mets can get another turn at this. The last time and the only time that the New York Mets and the New York Yankees met in the World Series was back in 2001. And I know the Yankees won the series. It was 4-1. I was on the field in Yankee Stadium when the Yankees won that game, but I was both at the time Shea Stadium. It's now Citi Field for the New York Mets. So we'll see. We'll see what's happening. The Yankees do not know who they will play absolutely yet because Detroit and Cleveland have one more game, the best 3 out of 5. They tied 2-2. And whoever wins that, they'll play. And the same thing with the San Diego and Los Angeles. So we will see where this goes.
Good morning, family. And to everyone who is in the chat, good morning to you. Let me do this as I normally do it, but haven't been doing it lately. If today is your special day, your birthday, your anniversary, or you're just celebrating it and holding the day in high esteem, maybe your grandchild got born on this day, we're going to ring the bell and give you a round of applause on this special day, the 11th day of October. Family, 2024 is almost out the door. Almost out the door. And I'm going to go ahead and get ready to open up the phone lines here in a few minutes on this Freedom and Fun Friday. For he that the sun sets free is free indeed. And we're going to have a free for all Friday this Friday. And we just going to go everywhere. I just feel it in my spirit as I get ready to make my way to Houston, Texas, as the Southern University Jaguars take on the Texas Southern Tigers. It's about to go down. I wonder if Michael Strahan going to drop into his alma mater this weekend. It's going to be a pretty big game. So we're going to be in the building. We're going to be in H-Town.
No, Strahan ain't going to be there.
How you know that? He love, you know, that is the home of not only Michael Strahan, but Meg Thee Stallion. She's a little
he may stop in. I mean, he got NFL duties, but he may stop in. But I doubt it. You know, he's been dealing with Good Morning America. One of his daughters has been dealing with brain cancer. He had taken a lot of time off. A lot of people were still concerned. So if he drops in, that'll be a good thing, and it'll be a good thing for him, a good thing for the people, and that'll be a positive thing. And maybe things are starting to, continue to look up. So who knows? You know, it would be nice if he can make a detour, but when it gets ready for this NFL, it's a bit much.
I understand. Some folks don't have a problem dropping in, and they never forget where they came from. I know they had Jaden Daniels on the sidelines of LSU for a game in Baton Rouge before he had a NFL game. So you never know who might show up. B and Zach, what are you doing this weekend, my brother? What you got going on?
This weekend, nothing. I'm just going with the flow. All I can say, I'm not going into this, definitely ain't going, because some things you just have to keep. You probably say, why you open up? It's amazing how some people are just bold and put questions out there. And we say, be transparent. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people are not, they say, just tell me the truth, or be brash with it. But when you get brash, it just feels sometimes a little uncomfortable because most of the time people beat around the bush. You know what I'm saying? And people ask certain questions, it's sometimes it's a little surprising. It's a little, it's not shocking, but it's a little surprising. But I just think we're in a different era. People want what they want and they ain't got time to beat around the bush, and they're not worried about your feelings. They're worried about theirs, and they're moving on. Especially, I'm not talking about building a family and stuff like that. I'm talking about life's pleasures. A lot of people just for a moment, they're not trying to do things for a lifetime with people. Sometimes they're just trying to do things for a moment. And sometimes, you coy, you play games, you try to be smooth. And a lot of people are like, be smooth. I only know music. I only know candles. I don't need this. This is what I want to do. Do you want to do this? This was happening. So we gotta be. I don't want to use the word. We gotta be careful of what. And I said today, I'm not gonna come up with the topic. We a team, but I said I'm gonna throw it to Joe because I've been throwing out some topics. I love to balance it out. But I just noticed that yesterday somebody presented something and it was interesting. That's all I can say.
Let me say that. Okay, so for the first. Because people don't know, I'm going to start dividing the show up into either 30-minute segments or quarter hours. It's already 13 minutes past the hour.
I don't want to do that.
So
we're going to debate about that. He mentioned that. I don't like that. This is not radio, but we're going to debate that. I don't like that.
This is whatever we decide for it to be. But here's what I want to say right quick. For the next 15 minutes, I would like to bring up this question. And I really don't want to go no further than 15 minutes with it. If possible, we might go further, depending on if it takes legs. I'm starting to ask the question, what you bring to the table? Not what is being brought to the table for you, but what do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? When it comes down to any type of situation, work relationship, personal relationship, anything, what do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? Because I think some people are just at the table. I don't think they bring anything to the table. I think they're just at the table to consume whatever gets put on the table. But today's question on this Freedom and Fun Friday is, what do you bring to the table? We're broadcasting live on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook. You can go to @JDMS on Instagram, YouTube. Oh, you can go to, wait a minute, that's wrong. You can go to @JDMS on Instagram, on Twitter, X, and on Facebook. On YouTube, we are at 100 BLK Media. Please subscribe to our page there. We are growing. I am so thankful for the growth that we are having. Of course, we are also at www.the100blk.com, the hottest informational platform for us, by us, giving it to us just the way we like it. It's the home of two of the hottest digital radio platforms out there, which is Vibe 95, which is Afro Beats, which is really hitting on all cylinders. And of course, 100 BLK, the Black Station, the best of the 80s, 90s, 2000, and today. Just go there and get it in. HBCU news, Black news, everything you want, need, and desire. Brother Fatim, that is just a question. People
I'm ready to answer it. I'm ready to answer it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Let's go.
Like I said, we don't need to wind it up that much. Put it out there and let's go. I think it depends on what you're dealing with, what you're doing in life. It depends on how you raised. I was raised in a sense of being the best that you can be. So when you go to school and you're learning about life, but you're also learning about life at home. You're learning about life in your environment, and what not is good. And a lot of times we grow, we're still learning in life. But what do you bring to the table? I mean, you bring yourself, first of all. That's the first thing you do, is bring yourself. But when you get to the table, the question is, what do you want to do at that table? Especially if there's someone sitting across from you. Are y'all trying to do something together? Or you just coming to the table just being who you are in life? When you talk about what you bring to the table, is really what you bring in life, what you bring into a relationship, what you bring into certain circumstances, a job or whatever. And a lot of things that when we get to that table, we're still going to grow. We're still going to learn things. but you still want to be the best that you can be. For instance, you know, when your ass go to school, you know if you are A, B, C, D, or F student. So in life, you know if you are an A person, B, C, D, or the F as a fuck up. So that's the bottom line. You know what you bring to the table. That's the bottom line. And a lot of people want to get to the table, be half-ass, and want somebody else to carry them. On the flip side, there's some people that come to the table and say, I'm not carrying somebody. I want to do this together, and there needs to be some kind of compatibility. And when I use the word compatibility, meaning that there needs to be some kind of level here. You know, unless you have a mindset of saying, okay, I make 6 figures, high 6 figures, we're going to have children. You don't have to put so much pressure on you working right now, in a sense of, you know, us doing and needing what we need financially. But I think that people, again, Joe, you just said it. You look yourself in the mirror. A person, B person, C person, D person, and F person in life. You know what kind of person you are. And when you come to the table and you know you down at the bottom and you want to eat caviar, you know you're deluding yourself. And that's what, and I'm going to bring his name up. What's his name? I'll bring his name up and I can't, what's his name? That died. I always forget his name. I apologize. Joe's nowhere to be found. So, Kevin Samuels. There you go. I got it before somebody put it in the chat. Kevin Samuels. This is what Kevin Samuels said. This is what he said. I'm not making a disclaimer. So what? He gave it to you raw. He gave it to you this way. I got it. The disrespect, I understand, but let's deal with the message. Some of you will come to the table and wanting the world, and you don't bring but a corner. And that's what I'm trying to say. So what do you bring to the table? You don't actually just assess yourself. You should know what you bring to the table. And some people delude themselves. Some people, minds are not in the proper place, unfortunately, and they think they bring the world, and they don't bring much.
Okay.
And it's not about ego. It's about being realistic and your outlook on life.
Okay, so let me just confront the elephant in the room, because a lot of adults on here is probably thinking about this. And let me see, do I have these phone lines working correctly? I do. Before I do, let me go to the phone lines, because I always want to respect our callers when they call in. Brother Tim, welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told.
Mr. Joe.
Yeah.
I just want to speak on what you should expect on the table that they expect you to bring, brother. You shouldn't want more than you bring to the table. And you know, I be seeing a lot of this internet stuff. You know, internet women, just dreaming women over exciting themselves over what they want, but like they don't bring nothing. You know, a marriage is 50-50, bro. And I understand something.
If not 100-100.
What a man.
If not 100-100.
No, you know, a lot of women expecting a man to be 100, and they bring 0, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
But a real
that's
woman,
true. That's true.
A real woman and a real man in a marriage, bro, is 50-50. Me and my wife, we go 50-50 on every bill since we've been together, brother. Okay. You know, if I can't carry the weight, she gonna carry it.
Right,
that's
right. That part. That's what it's supposed to be, in my opinion.
And if she can't carry it, I'ma carry it. But through life, it's been, bro, we've been together 30 years, bro. It's going to be a 50-50 love. It's going to be a 50-50 pay bills. It's going to be a 50-50 buy property, a 50-50 buy cars, everything. Because that's what, when we married, bro, we became one. So we became to take care of each other, bro. So, you know, the expectations of women and the expectations of men we live in a dream world, bro. You know, everybody dreams. I don't like that. I'm a reality type liver, brother. I mean, I want to live in my means, and I don't want to dream about some shit that I would never touch. You know, so many people in this world today want to be a millionaire. If I get $1 million, Mr. Joe, I kid you not, I give $750,000 away to all the old folks and go fix their houses.
I believe you would do that. And guess what? In these days and times, $1 million really isn't no money. Let's just be real about it. A million. Everybody walk around saying that, but $1 million really ain't no money, because if you don't know how to manage it, it's really
It's
nothing.
gone.
Right. It's nothing.
Mr. It's not, it's not the money you make a year, bro. Some people making $200,000 a year don't own a wash house.
Come on. Talk to
You
me.
know what I'm saying?
Talk to
Just
me now.
understand me. They get caught up in the things that they can't pay, that they want to look good for. You can't stop looking good for people, bro, and start living good for God and for yourself and your wife. Stop trying to look good. It's hard. Listen, bro. It's hard keeping up an image. It costs to keep up an image, bro. My image is inside my house with my wife. First of all, my image is with God first. And then I gotta love myself. And my image is inside my house with my wife and my kids, bro. I care not what you think about me. And I really do if you're sincere. Because I'd rather you tell me the truth than lie to me. But so many people rather you tell them a lie than tell the truth.
Right. We see that in politics these days. Guess what? You can lie, and people will just make up excuses. I tell you, it's like we're in the Twilight Zone. Brother Tim, I appreciate you calling.
Whoa. I need Tim. Don't dismiss him. I not talk to Tim. I got to call. I got to talk to brother. I got to talk to him. So, Brother Tim, first of all, good morning, my brother.
Sir.
I understand your statement.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. And I love what you bring to the table. I love your energy and I love your life experience. I totally understand your statement, but I disagree when you use the word reality. Life is not 50-50 when you get in a relationship, brother. Just go to the lyrics of Love TKO, what Teddy Pendergrass saying. Sometimes it's going to be 70-30 at times. Sometimes it's going to be 60-40. Sometimes it will be 50-50. But when we're dealing with reality in a relationship, when you come in the mindset that, listen, I'm bringing myself, you bringing yourself, and we are doing this together, we know that we are working together and we're both putting in the pot. Sometimes it will be 50-50 and sometimes it'll be a little imbalanced. But that's what we're doing because we rock together. Just like the boat goes up and down, that's what we do. We rock together. And then when the seas are steady, then we going 50-50. We riding like that. So I understand the statement in a sense because that's what you mean. But in real life reality is not 50-50. It varies time to time. And that's the only thing I wanted to add to that.
Exactly. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think you and Tim were saying the same thing. And Brother Tim, once again, I do appreciate you supporting the show, brother, and calling in, man. Have a wonderful weekend, brother. You can join in just like Brother Tim. All you got to do is pick up the phone, 225-250-8770. Listen, family, I'm going to address the ugly elephant that is hidden in the corner in the room that nobody has said yet. A lot of folks, when it comes down to the table, let's go from both sides. Let me first start with my side, the man side. Most men say, what I bring to the table? I either bring money, power, respect, or I bring some good sausage to the table. That good wee-wee, that good peanut, that good long stroke. That's what some folks feel. My money, my power, my influence, this make it that this is what I bring to the table. On the other side, especially with women, a lot of women say what I bring to the table is my beauty, my coochie, and my Gawk 3000. And those things mean that I can get whatever I want on the table, off the table, around the table. And if I don't like this table, I'll stay at this table and I'll get something from somebody else's table. The truth about it is, a lot of folks believe their looks and their sex is what makes them have a position at the table and makes it that they move at the table the way they move at the table. I mean, I was laughingly looking at social media earlier this morning, and I was like, can I go through my Instagram or my Facebook without seeing some brother or some sister out here basically pushing sex? And that's what some folks say they bring to the table. And we just got to be real about it. Some women say, listen, I deserve it all because, Cardi B said it best. Cardi B just put out a live where Cardi B said, the Lord up high blessed her with good coochie.
And that's nice.
Fat girl.
And that's nice. And look at the type of relationship she got.
She said, I got fat girl coochie. She said, hold it. But hold it. Let's just be real about it. You can talk about the type of relationship you got.
Oh, damn right I am.
Hold on. But brother Fatima, it ain't a damn right. Damn
right I'm going to talk about it, brother.
Right.
I'm going to talk about it because you bringing some sex to the table ain't shit. Stop it.
Hold it. But folks believe that though. And watch this. More folks would listen to what Cardi B had to say before they listen to what Brother Fatima had to say.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. She has a platform. She has a bigger platform than me.
Because
she got a bigger platform than me. That don't make it right.
But wait a minute. Listen to the point
I want to jump in here. I want to jump in. I'm ready to jump in.
Now I know you're ready to jump in because you really run the conversation in most of these podcasts. But I want to get this point out. You got to look at where Cardi B started from, brother. You got to understand where she started from.
I'm a fan of Cardi B's, brother. I know where she started from. She started from in the Bronx. I know where she started from. I know where she started from. You said I got to look at where she started from. You asked the question, what you bring to the table. You also gave an example just now, and let me correct something. I said the song was Love TKO. It's not. It's When Somebody Loves You Back. That's the song that it talks about. And one of the lyrics is it's so good needing somebody when somebody needs you back. Right. Said not 70-30, not 60-40, talking about 50-50 love. So I just want to correct that. So when people think, I don't really, again, people put this in the chat. Prove me wrong. Not prove me wrong. Educate me. Right. Because I don't know no woman or no man. Men might be on the ego that I bring good sex to the table, but they know to have a real good relationship, just bringing good sex to the table, it's just a weak foundation. And if you base that on a strong foundation, I just don't see too many relationships where people give example. Well, why does this relationship work? Well, you know what? Sex is good. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. I don't see that, Joe. I don't see that. I don't care what. I don't care what people don't.
I am saying, and I say it. I see it on social media. I see it out there now. You may not see it, but more folks base their relationship on, especially women. And somebody correct me if I educate me. Please let me educate me. A lot of women, hey, boom, what I bring to the table is me. It is me. I bring this good. I bring this good to the table, and that's why you need to do whatever it is you need to do for me. Come on, I'm just saying. Now I'm saying I've seen more relationships when brothers had good integrity, good finance, good brothers, and good sisters. Terrible sex will make you say no to a relationship in a minute. And I'm not saying that's all you bring to the table, but a lot of folks, especially folks now. I have to give my disclaimer. I am 57 years old. But when I talk to 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds, some of these young ladies are definitely in the mindset that, hey, it's the sex. It's the sex. Let you go solo bolo again for a minute.
I can't believe it. I mean, we talk about this all the time. And, and I talk to 20-year-olds. Spoke with a 20-year-old last night, and even though they mind may be on sex, they're not basing their relationship just on sex. But it like I've said,
let's see.
Separate, right? Joe, let me finish. What I'm saying is, and I've said this before, that sex is important in a relationship. I don't separate sex from a relationship. But what I'm saying bad sex can end a relationship. That's definitely true. I got it. But build it. When you started this conversation about what you bring to the table, I just don't see people building a relationship around sex in a sense of a growing relationship. Now, it could be a relationship I'm getting with this guy, the sex is good, this, that, and other. But if you're talking about building a good and lasting relationship and the families and this, that, and other, I'm just standing by my words. No, it's not many that bring that. I don't see that on social media. I don't see that in the conversations where it's just about sex and the relationship is prospering. That's all I'm saying.
Brother Fatim, a lot of
Right.
relationships are built on sex, and a lot of relationships are built only on sex, and a lot of relationships
And are they
prospering
successful?
that are successful, that are
Yeah,
just
okay.
built on
Yeah.
sex.
But
And
you find
I had
a
to
person to
address
come on here to tell me
I had
and
to
show
address
me
that elephant
they've been in a
because we don't want to
relationship for
talk.
10 years successfully just on sex.
Hold
And
it.
it's a prospering relationship.
Okay.
Wait a minute. That's just like when folks say, and I'm getting ready to go to the caller. That's just like when folks say, well, no, I would date you if you were a trash collector. Well, you're not a trash collector. You an NBA All-Star. You a football player. You a superstar rapper, and you're not the trash collector. And the point is, let me lose everything and let's see, do you stick and stay? Caller, welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. Question or comment? Let's go.
Yes. All right. So here's today. Our today women, and well, let's say women will date men that's gonna love them in their back pocket. And what I mean by that, most women aren't here to grow with a man. They're here to have a man that's already up. And if he's already up, then we can build something off of what he already built. Now, I remember back in the days when my grandparents and my parents were coming up, married, doing their courtship. They didn't have nothing. So that was the test of the love, test of endurance of love. So love does exist. It's just today's people, they don't want to work at it. They're like it's a microwave thing these days. Oh, this man can pay all my bills. That wasn't the concept. The only reason why a man was out there back in the days was doing that because we had more children. Everything's connected. Like today, you got black women having one to three children. When back in the days they had 5 to 10. Now you have white women having 5 to 10, and black women are having less because of the fear of the woman. The black woman has the fear that the man's not going to be there, so she's going to leave at some point or not commit to submitting. Submitting will keep them from loving. The fear of submitting will keep our women from loving us. So there, you're right, my brother, that we have to love today's day. We got to love women in their back pocket, because where's those ones when I can find somebody or meet somebody and see her and say, hey, baby, I like you a lot, and I want us to start from here and spawn from here. And that woman does not exist anymore. That woman wants to know my bank account, even though she don't even have a bank account. That woman wants me to take out on all these excursions and fine dining, and she can't even cook me a meal. So you have to be able to bring something to the table, and it better be good, and you better be good in bed, and you better know how to cook and clean. Because before I'll have to love you in your back pocket, you have to earn my pockets. You can't just like, oh, I want to marry a man. I want you to be my husband, but you don't want to do any wifely duties beforehand. You want to wait until we cross over a broom, if you will, to say that you love me and that here I am. I'm getting the wifely duties now. No, you got it backwards. If they can go back and channel their grandmother or great grandmother on how it used to be and how it worked, I think that they will have a better perspective other than what the social media is giving you. That's my comment this morning.
All right. Thank you for calling, caller. You are welcome to join in. Brother Fatim, you got a response to that?
Yeah, I definitely got a response.
550-8770. Let's go.
So I got a response to brother, but first of all, again, he didn't go down. Again, he talked about something dealing with foundation. You would agree or disagree, but it ain't on sex, and that's it. And I looked at, and he made me think, because if I wouldn't throw my children under the bus, but I know how me and Hanifa raised our children, and the thing that we did is we gave them the foundation. My daughter, I'm taking my youngest daughter now. I don't hardly mention my youngest daughter, but I'm taking Rakaya. Doesn't fit what he says, because I look at her boyfriend now, that they've been in a relationship over, again, she would have to tell me how many years, but I know it's been over 5 years. And I look at that, and and when he may not have, she got for him. You understand what I'm saying? That's how we roll. That's how they roll, because they have to live their life. She's 28 now, but go back. She was that mindset. You understand? So she realized that it's not what you bring, it's what we bring together and making it happen. And I have to respect that. I have to respect that. So, but I do hear what the brother's saying of today. And for me, a lot of us looking from the outside in, we have to speak with them. We have to have conversations with these young folks, because if we don't have conversation, because there's a lot of young folks that are on the ball, that have a good, strong foundation, and they walk the walk. They're taking care of business. They doing what they got to do to become the best that they can be, and they're looking for someone that is compatible, that because they don't want to waste time in life. Then it's always been like that. Don't matter where you at, today or yesterday. It's just that the liabilities are different now. Back then, a lot of women didn't have jobs. They didn't go out to work. They couldn't lead the family. Now women can make more money than men and lead the family. So the options are different today. But the bottom line is, you want a foundation. You want a foundation. So, and I'm just looking at some of these comments here, and I'll read, I'll go straight down the line here. I'm not picking and choosing. I'm following what after Timothy spoke. Let's go back all the way up here. Eddie Bonnet says, I totally agree. Me and my wife can't go 50-50 on bills, but the areas that she has with raising our kids is definitely greater than me. That's what I'm saying. Eddie Bonnet says to Timothy Malashon, much respect to you, to your realness, my brother. You inspire me. Timothy Malashon, thank brother Eddie. Eddie Bonnet says, sex definitely cannot be the foundation in any relationship. What happens when sex can't happen? That's what I'm saying. Willie Pickens says, different strokes for different folks. Timothy Malashon says, sex can't pay bills, buy property, or give true feelings of love. Life is not built on just sex. Eddie Bonnet comes, I really want to see a prospering relationship just on sex and nothing else. Rhonda Hairston says, maturity should not be based on sex. My thoughts. At 20, some may not be mature and think that is what real life is about. So those are some of the comments right there.
But brother Fatim, and I'll let you go through that. But once again, listen, and I want folks to please hear my heart on this, and not think that. Listen, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that that's the foundation. I'm saying perception. When you go through social media, when you go out there through the difference of, I don't care what social media platform it is. It can be X, it can be TikTok, it can be Facebook. Sex is selling. And a lot of folks, that's why they do the AI pictures. That's why they do this. That's why they do that, because they try to build it on the optics of, I am sexy. And listen, I can right now go to my social media feed, and I promise you, I'll find 2 or 3 folks, especially women, who will say something like this. Don't you go out there and give no coochie to no broke Negro. Don't you go out there and have a baby from a broke Negro. Don't you do this. Don't you do that. And the truth about the matter,
that's smart advice.
But the truth, wait a minute. But here's the point. They're basing it on, don't do this, don't do that. Well, wait a minute, brother Fatim, let me raise my hand and say something. With all the success I've had in my life, there have been times in my life I have been broke. There has been times in my life that I have been homeless. There have been times in my life that I haven't had like I have today. That doesn't make me less of a valuable person. So once again, if you're basing it, wait a minute, let me get this out, because I see you getting ready to go there. But once again, I can only speak for me. There are times that I have had very little. It does not change the man that I am. So what I'm trying to say is, when you see stuff like that out there, see, I'm blessed that I've had folks that were with me at my lowest, was with me through my lowest, and worked with me to get to where I'm at today. Everybody can't jump on that boat, because everybody want to ride with you when you pushing the luxury cruiser. Don't nobody wants you when you own that plank, barely making it from Havana you're out there in the middle of the sea with the sharks, and all you're doing is hanging on to a plank. That's what I'm talking about. See, once again, you're like, oh, that's good advice. That's good advice until it's you. I've been there. I've had no money, no house. I've had a time that I was homeless, literally sleeping in the backseat of a car.
And you shouldn't have been making no baby at that particular time, neither. You shouldn't have been making no baby at that particular time. And if that would have been my daughter or sister, I've been like, well, you know, he's not in the best to say. He may be a good guy, but you better wait till you get on your feet to do that. But the point I'm saying is you got to listen to yourself. That's why I kind of cut in on you, because you say A and you go to Z. You say something. You just said something before that. You said, I look on Facebook and social media and I see people with AI and sexy. Yeah, people are being sexy. Sex sells. Yeah, but that ain't about selling for just a relationship, bringing sex to the table. Yeah, people are being sexy. Sex always have sold. What are we talking about? Sex always sold and will sell. It's just changed the format. But that ain't saying I'm just bringing sex to the table, Joe. So all on this social media, I am not seeing that's all they're bringing to the table. They want to make mass appeal.
Brother.
Well, yes, you are saying that. That's what you just said.
Brother,
that's what you said. They build it on. You go on. I'm gonna repeat what you say. You go all on social media. You first say you go all on social media and you see that they on this sex. They building on sex. It's nothing wrong with being sexy, Joe, but I don't see on social media where women saying all I bring to the table is sex and that builds a good relationship. I don't see that on social media.
Okay, brother Fatim.
I mean, if you can pull something up now and show me, then I'll be like, okay, there you go. Joe's right. I just don't see it on a normal basis. I see sexiness. I just promoted a video with sexy women yesterday.
Okay, First of all, brother Fatim, let me make three things clear here. Okay. First of all, I'm not digging into you, what you may do or what you have done.
No, what are you talking about? I'm talking about your statement.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Don't change the subject. We're talking about sex.
No, I'm not, because you go from 0 to 100 as if I'm going personally at you. I'm not. I placed out there.
Where you get that from? Where you get that from? I'm talking about what you said. I'm not personal. Where you get that from? I'm saying your statement. I'm countering.
Brother Fatim, what I have said is I was going to address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is, and a lot of folks don't want to say this, is that a lot of this is based on sex. A lot of it is based on the how can I need to find a proper word here.
You said a relationship is, you said that you go on social media and there's a lot of people that base their relationship just on sex. And I came back and say sex is important, but it's not the only foundation. I read the comments. So go ahead. That's what I'm dealing with.
No, brother Fatim, as we do on many of our episodes, guess what? I'm going to concede my mic, because this ain't about what's right or who's right. It's about just bringing up the conversation.
How are we going to debate the thing and then you get upset when I'm
not upset,
I
brother.
What you say.
My voice ain't went up. I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm just saying we're trying to have a conversation about the truth. And the truth is, you can't tell me that folks saying, look, bro, I don't see on social media where folks are literally peddling, talking, and pushing sex as a foundation to a relationship. There are women out there that say, bam, all I bring to the table is the coochie. I deserve the fine cars. I deserve this. I deserve that because I got good coochie. And if you tell me that you don't see that, then you don't see it. Okay. All right, brother. Next, we have went over our time on this one. Let's go. Let you find something new to talk about. Let's go.
No, this is your day today, bro.
Nah, brother.
No, because I ain't finished. I ain't finished on this topic. You said we could go further. You said we having a discussion. Don't get your drawers all tight. Don't get your drawers all tight, brother. I'm going back to this.
Brother.
We see,
my drawers never get tight.
Okay,
let's go.
All right, so the bottom line is, there are women out there that bring sex to the table for certain things. They barter sex. They feel that if I'm giving you sex or I have good sex, I can get this and that. I'm saying that when it comes down to a strong foundation, when you talk about when you say what you bring to the table, we are talking.
See, you add things to it to try to make it
You,
seem like I said something I didn't. I said there are people who build their relationship on sex. That's what they bring to the table. I didn't say
right.
strong. I didn't say
Can I
lasting.
finish? Can I
I
finish
said
what
that's
I was saying? Can I
not. But
finish
you're
what I
not.
was
But
saying?
you're not going to try to put me in a
I'm
place
not
that
going
I
to
said something
embellish
I
what
didn't.
you're saying. I'm not going to
Okay,
embellish what you're saying. You
please don't.
said
Let's
I
go.
connected. I
Let's
connect the
go.
dots on
Let's
what you
go.
said. You started the
Let's
whole
go.
daggone conversation today
Let's
on what
go.
does a person bring to the table, and
Let's go, brother.
and that was the foundation of what you bring to the table. What is that? What does bringing to the table? Even Timothy called in. The other brother called in. The comments talked about a relationship. What do you bring to the table to build a foundation of something? And I'm saying point blank, you can't just bring sex to a table and build a foundation. And I think a lot of people that do sexy things and bring sex to a relationship, they know that that's not going to build a foundation. It may get them things, it may get them what they want, but it doesn't build a strong foundation. That's connecting the dots, starting what you said about what you bring to the table.
Okay, brother. Keep talking.
Oh, there you go. Now you got like your drawers ain't tight. Okay, cool. I got you.
I'm good,
Your
brother.
attitude changed, but
No. Because what I'm not going to do is scream and holler with you.
you ain't got to
Because you
scream.
get
Just say what you got
passionate.
to say.
I get passionate. At the end of the day, what I was saying is, and once again, my opinion and some. I'm not saying everybody. You're making it seem like I'm personally shooting at somebody or shooting at you, and I'm not. I'm just saying the truth about the matter is listen, like I said, I don't want to put post up here because it would expose some things that some folks say. And I haven't personally spoken to these folks, but I have seen folks that put post out there that says, boom, I'm not giving the Gaga 3,000 to a brother who ain't this, that, these are those. I don't mess with broke brothers. I don't mess. Okay, but wait a minute. But if you broke,
they shouldn't be messing with me. I shouldn't be thinking about a relationship. I need to be thinking about myself.
All right, brother. I'm just trying to bring up. I'm not trying to talk about you or me. I'm just talking in general. But since you don't put me and you into
I'm not talking about me.
right.
I'm just saying an example.
No, but you just said
because you said, yeah, well, I said that, but that's what I mean is I'm speaking. Why would anybody want to deal with somebody where they're not together at that particular time? Sometime in life, we got to deal with reality.
Say that once. I want you to say that again, slow, brother.
Why do we tend to deal with people when they don't have their self together at times? What I'm saying is difference if you in a relationship and you lose your job and you get broke. But the bottom line is if you're getting yourself together, why do that? For instance, let me just tell you this, and this is no slap, but I tried a ready-made relationship. I tried that. It didn't work for me. I don't like dealing with baby daddies. I can't control them. That don't mean I won't fall. I could fall in love with somebody that has children. I'm older now, so most likely if I get with somebody, they have children. They have children or have grown children. But for me, I think people, we talk about this. It comes about responsibility and accountability before we get into relationships. If you say, what do you bring to the table? You not only bring yourself, but you bring your mindset. And you try to bring a clear mind and some kind of objectives and goals when you come to the table, so you know what you're looking for on the other side of the table. And when you know what you're looking for on the other side of the table, there's certain things that you will not go for at the end of the day. We know as men, there are women that will they'll whip us, whip appeal, brother, whip us in the bed. Oh my God, we want to give the king and castle. But some of us men realize, yo, that's some good stuff. But is that where I want to try to build my foundation? Because this person, that's all they bring to the table. And that's where common sense and logic comes into the conversation. I don't give a damn what they may think they bring. If I bring good coochie or good ride to the table, the question is that strong enough to keep a relationship and build a foundation on a relationship? That's all I'm saying. I don't believe it can.
And I completely agree with you, brother Fatim. I don't believe that it by itself is strong enough. And I completely concur and agree with you. However, I don't think everybody see it the way you and I see it.
And that's true.
And I'll be very honest. I don't think everybody sees it the way some of these comments float in the commentary. Because once again, as I said, and one day hopefully I'll set up a camera system to show y'all this. Just because it shows that we've got certain amount of people in the chat and certain amount of people clicked in, right now there is 125 people viewing this. And out of the 125 people viewing this right now, I'm pretty sure some of those 125 people, though they're not clicked in, though they're not commenting, probably say that is a point. I can't.
Well,
Right
they
now,
need to come on here, because until the reality is, is that I can't read their imaginary words. So if they there, click on and say it, because if it's not there, the majority of the people are saying what they're saying. I'm dealing with the people that's clicked in.
Hey, brother Fatim.
That's who I give priority to.
I will say this, and I'll say this, and this is something else. 8 minutes to the top of the hour. I might need to get this off my chest on this Freedom and Fun Friday.
Go ahead, brother. I'm a mute.
I'm very blessed that I have from the largest radio media market and the largest Black station in the United States of America, my good friend, Brother Fatim, on this show. And a lot of you, the only reason that you're here is that y'all really followed Brother Fatim. Y'all are followers of Brother Fatim. 100 BLK in this media platform is not WBLS. We ain't the open line online, nor do we have the following of or the establishment of over 50 years. Be exact, 100 BLK ain't even been in existence for 5 years. But I am thankful that I have begun the process of my own media platform. I'm not a Roland Martin, though I know Roland. There's a lot of folks I know. There's a lot of folks I work with. I don't expect to see those type numbers right now, but I do expect to see them type numbers one day. And if I stay established as long as some of these other entities do and stay consistent, I see it happening. So I'm proud of the 125 folks. And yes, I would love for y'all to not just be watching, but click on and get in. But if you choose not to, thank you for just watching. And I'm thankful for those who are consistently in the chat. And I'll say this, a majority of them came from Brother Fatim. And I'll ring the bell and give him a round of applause. And some do come from the people I know and the influence I had. But at the end of the day, I understand that we're still in the infant stages of this podcast. I'm still in the infant stages of building my own media network. And I'm proud of everything I've accomplished thus far, because most folks would have been given up by now and said, man, this ain't even worth it. I invest my own money. I don't look for advertisers. You don't see me in here trying to push or peddle anything. I don't try to follow the algorithms. I do my thing because I believe we have a good product that gives good information that tells you not how to think or what to think, but to tell you to think. And so I'm here, and I'm going to be here every day with my crew, without my crew. Even if something happens to me, I'm going to hopefully keep seeing that something keeps pushed with this platform. And that's what I do. So I just wanted to say, for those of you who are sitting out there, right now it's 145. So now people must say, oh, controversy. Let's start clicking in, see what's happening. It's no controversy. I love this brother. Brother Fatim is my brother. We see things differently. We have different points of view. Guess what? After further review, sometimes I go with the team. After further review, sometimes he goes with me. And a lot of times we stay right on the same road. We just see it. We have to give it to you from two different perspectives. We're here because many a times as Black and brown folks, we don't get platforms like this. If you go on a conservative platform, guess what? If you say something they don't like, you go on Houston, there's going to be a problem. So with that being said, let me see, can I go to the phone lines? Caller, welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. Question or comment? Let's go.
Good morning, my brother from another mother, my two brothers from another mother.
Good morning.
It's your girl, Jewel, over here in New York. Y'all over there. You think I'm not going to call in? I don't think you guys are spending your money. Top dollar for us to have a platform to say hallelujah, amen. So I'm going to come in here and say hallelujah, amen. How you feel today, everybody?
Freedom and Fun Friday, baby. It's the weekend, baby. I'm ready to get up out of here and get to H-Town. I'll be leaving around 1 o'clock your time, 12 noon my time.
Yeah. I was listening earlier to when you was talking about those relationships and stuff. It's the truth. Sex is not everything. You know, you gotta have You gotta have some type of income, some kind of character, you know, and it's not all about money. You know, you gotta know how to make somebody smile, you have to respect somebody, you have to be able to care for another person, you know, and all that comes out of you have to love yourself first. You understand? You gotta love yourself first before you can even, you know, this and that. For anybody, I love myself. You know, I love myself. I love God first. God always been blessing me. I thank God every day. But you know, ladies, they have to, you know, you got to not only know how to make your man feel comfortable, but you know, those bills come racking in there. You know, he ain't gonna be too comfortable. He ain't nobody helping him cover them the bills now. Amen. Somebody hear what I'm saying? You know, I have a mother and father who was married, and my father was in the Air Force. My mother, she did she was in the office. She worked in the office. She did shorthand, Pittman, shorthand, all type of stuff. She was an executive secretary. You know, she didn't just come in and sit down and say, "Oh, I can cook for you." No. And she gave him me. And I'm here with you. Amen. Come on, somebody tell me something. I'm just hearing myself talking. Are you hearing me?
We hear you, sister. We hear you, Sister Jules. And we do appreciate you calling in. Like I said, you know, I just wanted to bring it up because literally when I do go through and you see it in relationship conversation, you know, folks say, well, I would have been with him if he was a trash collector, but who you with ain't a trash collector. You know, I would have been with him if he didn't have nothing, but hold up. When you met him, he had plenty.
They not lying. Love is love. They not lying. Love is love. But then again, when you look at this economy now with them apartments for $3,000, he got to have a lot more than just that thing.
Hey, and that door swings both ways. Because once again,
that's right.
She got to bring more than just some wet kitty to the table. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying.
It's so good. It's so good. 50-50 love.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, watch this. I know women that go to work every day. And see, once again, I'll address the elephant in the room. Folks don't want to. I know women who got men that's sitting at home not doing nothing because guess what? The man said he putting it down, and that's how she been dickmatized, and she like, oh girl, you just don't know how to make me feel. Well, however he make you feel, but that happens. And there's brothers who's been coochie-matized. There's women that's sitting around spending this money, and he said, brothers be like, man, she ain't doing nothing for you. Oh, bro, you just don't know what she do to me. That's just the truth about the matter. I'm not saying all, but that does happen with some folk, and it happened to more folks than you know.
If you got a full cookie jar. We all know if you got a full cookie jar and you sit up there in the house and eat up all the cookies and you don't put nothing back, how long are you going to have a full cookie jar?
Hey, understand, some folks have got away with it. And watch this. Some folks, once they eat up all your cookies and they deplete you of all your resources, they move to another cookie jar, another house, and start the whole process all over again. And that's what we don't want to talk about, because that's what happens on the male and the female side. We don't talk about that. Right, we don't talk about the men. Hold it. We always talk about women that been ran through. We don't talk about these men that done jump from woman to woman to woman and depleted each woman of all their resources. See, that's where I was really trying to get to. The elephant in the room, how we don't talk about how folks jump from place to place to place. And what they bring to the table is they're literally going to take all your resources, everything from your table. And once they done took all they can take, they're going to move on to somebody else's table and start the whole process all over again. Thank you. Thank you.
God don't like ugly. He's not crazy about cute either. God do not like ugly. He's not crazy about cute either.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Thank you for calling in, Sister Jules. Thank you.
You're welcome, brother. I love you. Love you, brother. I love you.
All right, Jules. All right, let me get to some of these comments there.
Go ahead,
So KC said, not a good idea to bring a child into the world that you can't provide for, right? Dre B. Watson says, I hate looking over my glasses. I'm in my mid-50s. I'm not looking to be a nurse or a purse. When you get to a certain age, you want to be with someone that can bring the same or more to the table as me. Example, job, retired with pension, their own place, no roommates, etc. That's the baseline. There are a lot of older men who still don't have that. KC responds to Eddie Bonnet. I believe that's up to each individual. What is important / valuable to you? Timmy Melanchon. Oh, I'm not reading the social media comments because I'm going to come back to the social media comments because I have to go back to the question that Eddie put out there. Dre B. Watson said, people have to bring more than sex to the relationship. We all gonna get older, and things may not be working like it once was. You have to have something else. Sex should be an extension of what you already have emotionally. Let's teach. Okay. All right. So let me go back to this comment about what Eddie put out here. Eddie, I'm going back to that comment, and I took a picture of it. So if I don't come, okay. So Eddie puts this in a comment. He said, "Do you guys believe social media is destroying or has destroyed the perception of a real relationship? Also, these reality shows, I believe, has played a part in my opinion." Antonio Cope came back and said, "I totally agree. Social media have destroyed our relationship." So here we go. So I'll just say this. A lot of things that's on the outside has influence. And I hear what you're saying, Eddie. And, when you call in, you probably can expound on it. Because sometimes when we say things, we kind of look at it as an absolute. Because if you go back at times when women were home, I used to hear my father coming home and say certain things to my mother. Where you get that idea? You watch The Edge of Night, Secret Storm, As the World Turned, Young and the Restless now. I mean, I know the news stories too, but I'm just saying, this is soap operas. Then it's the girlfriends in the building or in the neighborhood where they get together. Then it became Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer was corrupting you. Then it was hip hop or music with negative lyrics. Now we got social media. Anything that creeps in that has bad connotations can affect your relationship. But we're always around good and bad. So we all can be influenced by what is good and bad around us. So social media, soap operas, Jerry Springer, all the hip hop music, not all hip hop, but the negative lyrics and all kind of music, twerking and the visual images, all of that can have some kind of impact on your relationship if you allow it in. But you got to realize that's the world we're in. That's the world we're in. And if we put so much emphasis on that without building us as a people and rearing our children, you got to teach them right from wrong, because they're going to go out in the world and there's going to people that's going to approach them that is good and bad. But you got to teach that foundation, because not just one thing is going to be social media today and it's going to be something else tomorrow. So anything that sneaks in that causes anything with a negative connotation can affect the relationship, including social media. But social media, I'm not going to sit here and say it's just a negative tool. It's a tool how you utilize it. Some use social media as a positive tool, and then some are influenced on the negative side. But is social media bad? I don't think it's bad. It's how we utilize it.
So I agree with Brother Fatim. At the end of the day, it's just like guns. It's just like guns. At the end of the day, people kill people. They just use a tool called a gun to do it with. People slander people. They use the vehicle now of social media. Social media is the new, I can't say it to your face because it'll probably cause a major conflict of hands being thrown or somebody hurting one another. So people have Twitter fingers and Facebook fingers and Instagram fingers, and they put messages out to lash out at folks, because a lot of them wouldn't do it to your face. It's a new vehicle. These are vehicles, and the question is, you have good people who use the vehicles to spread positive messages, and you have bad people who use the vehicles to spread negative messages. And it's just what it is. And guess what? Many a times we have to look at it this way also. If the truth is the truth, and the truth just doesn't make you look like you, the person who's right, it's still the truth. So sometimes we got to look at that also. Let's go to the phone lines. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. Question or comment? Let's go.
I'm going to just comment on what Brother Fatigue said, man. I agree 100%. We get influenced by bad and good things in life. That's why when the brother said about the internet, I did agree with the internet. And I said we called the TV in prison the one-eyed devil. It's two things you don't mess with in prison, bro. If you really don't want no trouble, some punks and the TV. So the TV is like the one-eyed devil. So the internet, just think, the internet is like a million times like the TV. Like Brother Fatigue was saying, it could be the daddy would say it could have been the stories, it could have been a movie, it could be music. I mean, Brother Fatigue hit it on every aspect of life. That's why I like listening to Brother Fatigue, because he got wisdom, knowledge, and understanding about life, bro. And we all need to need to learn from our elders, and that's where the younger generation and the old generation is dropping the ball. We both dropping the ball because we both won't sit down and listen to one another, bro. We could talk with each other, but we got, like Brother Fatigue said, we have to listen to them, brother. Our opinion of one another don't really amount to nothing if we sit down and we listen, brother. We gotta sit down and we listen. We gotta pack in the information, bro. We can't just you can't look at me. You know, you can't look at me. I got dreads, bro. You can't look at me. I got gold teeth, bro. You can't just look at me and say, man, that dude is a hood dude. You sit down with me for 5 minutes, I'm gonna talk about God all day, bro. Because listen, bro, I done been through the storm, bro. And like he's saying, if it don't be for my white man, I would have been back in the streets selling drugs, bro. A lot of times, like right now today, a lot of times I don't have nothing. I maybe have $500-$600 in the front of me sometimes, bro. But it's not about money. My richness don't come from money, bro. My richness come from the love of my family, from the love of God, bro. Today as humans, we think we're gonna be rich with money, bro. That could be a curse and a blessing. And to many today, it's a curse, bro. So I just love listening to you, Brother Fatigue, bro. You be hitting that all on all dots of the hammer, brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you, brother.
Thank you for the call, Brother Tim. Appreciate the love, man.
All right. I love y'all, man.
All right, man.
Love you too, brother.
Brother Fatigue, floor your man.
He said what needed to be said. I mean, he dropped the hammer. You know, it's how we look at things. You know, it's just how we tend to look at life. And I think a lot of times we're not taught to look into things. We're not taught how to look into things. That I used to say to Reverend Sharpton. I didn't say this to Reverend Jackson that much because I wasn't around him a lot. I was around him, but not a lot. And I said it to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I said it to him too, mate. That in bobsleigh is that you guys are able to look into something. You know, instead of seeing the cover of this book and reading the title, they are able to look into it. And when you're able to look into it, you understand what you're talking about better, and then connect things. Things are connected. Things are not isolated. Life is just not isolated. It's one continuous life with different things that come in and out of our life, but it's still connected. And when we start to understand, when we start to understand this, then we will be better off. No one knows it all. I don't know it all. I'll come back and say I'm wrong on this or wrong on that. But I try to listen and I try to answer the question now. And that's what I've been learning with doing radio. Before I used to give a shotgun approach, and them two men was like, Fatine, you can't give a shotgun approach. There's a specific question. Answer the question. Don't go around the block. Don't explain all this. Just answer the question and give an example if you need to give example, and that's it. You don't need all that sometimes because that it's just right there. Sometimes it's right there, and a lot of times people don't know how to do it. A lot of us don't know even how to think properly. We get so frustrated when somebody said, go think about something. You get there and you get stuck. How do I do this? You need someone else to bounce off because you don't even know how to think. That's why I said get this and this sometime, because you can get your thoughts down and then it starts to flow. Didn't you ever hear people say, I started writing and it started to flow? Because you're giving yourself some kind of direction. But when you're trying to pull it from the air, you can't. That's why I keep trying to tell you, you get mad when you try to pull God from the air. But then when you try to pull God from here, it's different. It starts to flow. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Learn how to think. Learn how to turn within. A lot of the answers are already here. You gloss over books just like you gloss over life. You just get along in life. And I think Shahrazad Ali, I heard her say, not to say she was killing this thing, we are like roaches. We are like roaches. And when she said that, I said, what do you mean roaches? We are just surviving. We're not living. A lot of us are not living. We just surviving. And I heard the phone.
Yes. Caller, welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. Freedom and Fun Friday, 11 minutes past the hour. Let's go.
Good morning, good day, great rising to everyone on the live. This is Rhonda.
Hey, Rhonda.
I just have a couple of things to say. I agree with both of you brothers, and it's hard for me. I got to see what's right from both perspectives. But now how one uses the perspective is their privilege, is what they want to do.
Their choice.
I don't see a lot of sex on social media because I don't identify with that. The people I run with on social media are like-minded. I identify more with Pan-Africanism and consciousness. And we're trying to just raise our people. And when somebody steps out the line, we kind of pull them back in. For Brother Fatim, I get what he's saying, Brother Joe, because sometimes you don't need all the stuff out there. You just need to say what it is and go on to the next thing, because everything else will fall in place. But for you, Brother Joe, I get why you do that. And here's the reason, I'm not telling you, I'm not no psychologist or whatever, but I've lived in an area where the thought process is different. And sometimes for Brother Fatim, it's frustrating because I used to be like that. I used to say, God damn it, just tell me, what is it? I can figure out the rest. But I love the way you two are pulling it together, and y'all don't even see how y'all pulling it together. But I listen to y'all and I watch y'all, and y'all are pulling it together. And I just love the way you're pulling it together, because from all this, you're growing. We're growing. And I listen to people from 2 to 80. And I get it. I appreciate y'all, and I thank you so much. Continue to keep talking. Just continue to keep talking. Thank you so much, brother.
And I thank you, Sister Rhonda. And I think I'd like to comment on what Sister Rhonda said, because at first I was a little bit perplexed, but thank you for calling in. I say this to Brother Fatim because people say this to me, and Brother Fatim probably gets the same thing. We are tribalistic people. Brother Fatim is a Brooklyn, New Yorker. And he's a proud Brooklyn, New Yorker. However, everybody that you meet and talk to don't understand how life is in Brooklyn, New York. I am a proud Memphis, Tennessee native, a Southern man, been in the South a lot of my life. Now, I've traveled the world. I speak 4 different languages. However, my roots is in the South. And guess what? Sometimes I have to remind myself. Yesterday was a prime example. A person actually sent me a message and said how insulting that this brother said you read slow. Well, people in certain areas speak faster than certain other folks. That's why when I talk to people from Boston, I have to be very conscious and listen quite closely, because some of them flow in a way that I don't flow, or I'm not used to the flow going. Doesn't mean they're right or wrong. Brother Fatim and I think, as Rhonda said, uniquely, we give people 2 different dynamics, which neither one is wrong. That has to do with the culture and the area we were raised and how life is. Life in Brooklyn, New York is totally different than life in Henderson, Tennessee, where I was raised at. And vice versa. If I went straight from where I was raised straight to Brooklyn, I have to make some adjustments because it's a different type environment. Just like Brother Fatim, though he is always going to be a Brooklyn, New Yorker, when he comes down to an environment that's not his natural environment, he can still be who he is, but he's going to have to make some slight adjustments because things are a little bit different. And that's where I think the beauty of this podcast came together, especially when we have our third member here, who we would be remiss if we didn't mention her name. Sister Jax is still on the mends. Please keep her lifted up in prayer. Keep her in your thoughts that she will be returning soon. But I think it's unique as we all connect together because we show you all that we, as Black and brown folks, can come from two totally different diasporas. But we can come together, agree to disagree, but agree on more than we disagree on, and we can move forward for the greater good of all of us. Because until all of us Black and brown folks at least get on the same sheet of music to move our culture, our people, our families forward, we're always going to be back at the bus, Brother Fatim.
So I mean, you said enough on that. I'm just going to go to a word that you just said. So people understand me. You did say after Sister Rhonda spoke, and thank you, Rhonda, for those words and understanding, because we're pulling from this here, is that I can raise up a little bit. I can raise up with my voice. I can be passionate, but I'm willing to dialogue and I'm willing to keep pushing, because sometimes we don't see what we're saying or trying to understand. And sometimes you have to. You use the word, you were sort of perplexed and your mood changed, Joe. And even though my mood can change and I can seem like I'm angry, that's just my passion. But I think that I don't believe in giving up about conversation, because sometimes we're not seeing it from either of our side. And that's why I don't give up. I don't just throw in the towel. I'm trying to say, well, this is the point that you're not seeing. And then maybe you're trying to say, this is the point you're not seeing. And I don't believe in giving that up unless you really have to really come to the point of saying, you know what, we done really exhausted this and we have to agree to disagree. And I think that when we got to the point where I said, like you said, you were sort of perplexed, and I'm glad that you said it, because I don't think that, in our discussion, we're going to have debate, and sometimes it's going to get passionate. That's fine. We know that. We are the adults in the room that when we get off this phone, what happens? You pick me, you call me up, and the first thing you say, man, great show, great show. So what I'm saying is, we got to, and that's where I'm just saying, we're gonna get perplexed sometime, but don't let it stop us for trying to get that point of view, because sometimes we're saying something and maybe we need to change the way we're saying it to get that point across. Because sometimes I'll say something and then realize, what I said, the way I said it, I see how it was taken that way. So that's why we debate it. And that's why because that's how we get better. That's how we get better. Right. And that's right. Because if we all agree on something, what the hell to do this damn podcast for? I'm not here to just agree kumbaya here and slap everybody 5. I'm not here. That's why sometimes it seems like I changed. Eddie Bonnet says something good that I agree with, and Douglas Guidry, I have no problem supporting them. Just like Casey, we're cool. But if she says something I disagree with, I'll disagree with it. I'm my own man. And that don't take away for not having respect for you, and never allow my tone to come out, because if it does, I'll come back and say, yo, I apologize about my tone, but I'll still argue my point. So I'm just saying, stand your ground and be stubborn, but don't give up, because sometimes we have to come from a different approach so that a person can understand things. Because I'm telling you, things have been said to me that I didn't get right away, and then I look down the road, I'm like, damn, that's how you get it. So that's it.
Hey, I think all people have been that way. I mean, 20 minutes past the hour. At the end of the day, I think a lot of us, after further review, let's see who this is. I've never had a call from here. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. Question or comment? Let's go. Hello.
Goodbye.
Actually, it was
goodbye.
Hello. Goodbye. This thing called life be lifing. And a lot of us don't want to admit to this. We try to put us all in the same box, in the same category, and not understanding many of us are many, many facets different in many ways. Like I said, and I'll make it crystal clear, and folks may gloss over that and say, oh no, life in New York City is totally different than life in Lafayette, Louisiana. Life in Los Angeles, California is different than life in Memphis, Tennessee. Life in Florence, South Carolina is different than life in Henderson, Tennessee. But though we do have a lot of commonality, though, especially when it comes to Black and brown folks, and we do have a lot of common issues and problems that no matter where we're at geographically, we're still dealing with these issues and problems, because these problems are not just geographical problems. They are systemic problems. There were problems, as Brother Fatim say, there's a lot of ish. There's a lot of isms and a lot of ish. And those are where these things come from. And just because you're Black and brown and you're from a certain place doesn't mean you're not still dealing with the same Black and brown problems that come from isms and ish. Brother Fatim.
So I get what you're saying, and then I break it down. And this is what I used to say, because, I used to visit the South as a young kid, and I'm a New Yorker. And I just noticed certain things was different. Certain things were different, but it was just not miles apart. It just wasn't miles apart. And what made me see that is when became a young man, and I started, I grew up with television. We sat and watched television as a family. Grew up, Good Times, Jefferson, Archie Bunker, all these things. We watched television. We watched television as a family. We watched television when we came home from school. We watched certain things to do in our homework so we can get back outside. And when I became a young man, I started meeting people from all over the country. Just like a person that does the news in Lafayette, Louisiana, and the person that does the news in California, when they come to New York, they got to do the news the same. So what I'm saying is that the foundations of life is the same. How the way of life is looked upon is different in that area. But if you are a go-getter in life, you got to understand the fundamentals of life. And that's the issue. It may be a certain way of life, that how you go about it, but the fundamentals of life is still the same. No matter where you at, the fundamentals, respect, courteous, didn't matter if I was in New York or in the South, I still had to respect my elders, because that's what my family taught me. You understand? We may talk with a different dialogue, a dialect, in a sense where the Southerners have a little drawl, New Yorkers talk a little faster with this, that's understood, because that is the tribal of where we're at. But the fundamentals of life is the same. Right, wrong, good, bad. Going to school, being educated, common sense. That's all straight across, baby. It may zigzag a little bit, but the fundamentals of life is life, baby. And that's what we got to get. We got to understand that.
Well, I mean, you're absolutely correct. And then you have to understand what has been taught. Many a times we miss that point. In more urban populated areas, there's more consciousness taught. Let me go to the phone lines here. Caller, welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. Question or comment? Let's go.
Good morning, Brother Job. Good morning, Brother Fatim.
Good morning.
Brother Eddie.
Eddie Barnett out of Lafayette, Louisiana.
Just want to say, watch, brother. You want my watch, my brother?
I'm just saying, I'm negotiating a deal right now with Brother Timothy Malonson, man, to get you a good old watch. We got Piggly Wiggly stores down here, and they got bubblegum machines in the front of it. So,
all right, so I'll trade in my guest watch. This is my guest watch. I trade it in for a bubblegum watch. Okay. I would like one from the Cracker Jack box, and I'll really be proud of that. Okay?
Come on. That's right. But I just want to let you brothers know, man, I really enjoyed the conversation, the dialogue. You both of you brothers definitely caused me to elevate my thought process every morning. So I'm excited My wife know, man, when the podcast come on, don't call my phone because I'm engaged with three great people during this time, man, and just want to share a great testimony to you brothers, man. Because of you guys, I no longer straddle the fence as an independent. I'm a full-blown registered Republican.
Hey, congratulations. I got love for you on that one. You took a side, you took a position that you wanted, and you went with it. I appreciate that. Way to go, my brother.
I'm just gonna say to you, like Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny said to Elmer Fudd, shoot him now or when you get home? Shoot him now? Shoot him now, Joe, or shoot him when we get home?
Hey, listen,
shoot him
if
now.
the man stands on the values that he believes, listen, I don't have a problem with anybody standing on the values of saying I'm more. Guess what? I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. It ain't gonna change. That's who I'm with. No matter how bad, no matter how bad the record is, and you as a Cowboy fan should appreciate that.
Don't bring my I ain't saying nothing about the Cowboys.
How many losing seasons we have? No matter how many championships we don't have.
You brought your Steelers. You keep your Steelers in. Don't bring me in it. I'm not in this. Brought your Steelers. Don't bring mine. Don't bring mine up. I ain't saying nothing.
I'm just bringing it as a comparison, my brother.
No, you bring up the Jets or the Giants or the Commanders. You ain't got to bring Dallas into this. I ain't got nothing on Dallas.
I love this about you because you constantly want to be right, and I'm gonna give you your righteousness.
I'm trying to be right. Just don't bring my team in it.
You're a New York fan, and guess what? Win, lose, or draw. No matter how many times the Knicks don't win a championship, you still a Knicks fan. So I respect that. At the end of the day, if brother Eddie has decided that he wants to be a registered Republican, I'll ring the bell and give him a round of applause. He chose a side.
I got Daffy and Bugs in the back. Elmer Fudd is waiting for you, Eddie. He needs to know when you want to get shot. Now, when you get home.
But no, I just want to share that with you brothers, man. Y'all are some great brothers. I learned a lot from both of you brothers, man. And just want to let y'all know, man, I enjoy tapping in every single day. And of course, they got a fire person, Sister Casey, up in the chat, man, that just be on it. So definitely just keep everything going, man. Love y'all brothers for real. And at the end of the day, it's all about love.
Okay.
Appreciate it. I want to say something real quick. We don't have to change the subject. I just want to say something.
Go ahead.
I got to see how to do this because Brother Eddie Winch from Brooklyn, he was in the chat, and there was something that was put on social media for us that are affected in Brooklyn, New York. And a lot of us grew up playing softball in a park called St. John's. They're on Troy and Bergen in Brooklyn, New York, right across the street from Albany Projects. And I got to see how to do this because I really probably want to do it on WBLS more because that we have a bigger New York audience. Is that this is a park that now has artificial turf now. Now, I haven't been in the area for a while, but gentrification has taken over more. The folks that live in the community play more soccer now and do other things. But I just want to say, because Eddie brought this up, he said to me the other day, because he wanted to talk about it. And Eddie, Brother Eric, if you want to call in, you can real quick here this morning, is that this park, this foundation, St. John's Park in Brooklyn, it saved a lot of lives. I'm telling you, in that league, when I played in that league, we had some of the toughest and roughest brothers that walked the streets of Brooklyn. But we came together. We had all the likes of life. Everybody wasn't a gang member or nothing like that. I'm just saying, we had people that were rough and tough. We had people, family people, but we came together to play softball in camaraderie. And our families would come out, our wives, our kids would come out. And the institution of this park, St. John, it has a legacy. So many people raised themselves and raised their kids. When I joined St. John's, I was an arrogant SOB. Eric, I'm probably older than you, brother. So when I joined, we came in as a team called Michelle's, but we were not the original Michelle's. This was a league that was mainly, at the time when we came in, was Panamanian. We came in as Black Americans, 21, 22. We was backed by Michelle's, but we was not the original Michelle's. We came in cocky and took that league. And then there was another league going further up towards Empire that there was a field, and we took that league. We took both those leagues for 5,000. 5,000 was the championship. This is back in the 80s. And we took these leagues. Who was these arrogant SOBs? African Americans coming in. We had teams that played in there from Brooklyn. I mean, we could call so many names that have played this game. But the legacy of this park saved so many people's lives because it kept us off the streets. It kept us building the brotherhood and the sisterhood. I'm telling you, we played night games, Monday night games, Wednesday night games, Saturday games up there. We were into that park to 12 midnight, standing around talking till the lights went out, and then we went home. So I just wanted to say to Brother Eric, you know, I'm probably going to do something. I just haven't decided because some of the brothers that played in St. John also played with me on the 98.7 Kiss FM Lovers, like Butch and Magic. They were on the Kiss FM Lovers softball team before I even came to Kiss FM. I joined. So I just want to just mention that because I saw Brother Eric in the chat, and I just want to say how
and this may be him. This may be him on the line right here. So
yeah. This is me.
Hey, Brother Eric, my brother. I just you heard what I said. What's up, my brother? Hey, man. Thank you for calling in. And the driving point is how things in our community sometimes changes, but how they play such an important role for us and keeping us safe in our community. Brother Eric, I'll give you the mic, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, this foundation is very vital to me as a young man growing up in Brooklyn, and still is a fabric, a piece of the fabric of the community, our kids, and things of that nature. It kept a lot of us out of trouble. We all kind of transformed our lives through that park, the recreation center that was attached, the men in the community that kind of led the charge with us playing that game of softball. So, it's sad to see how the neighborhood changed, but at the same time, we as individuals, and this is what I wanted to harp on a little bit, we were part of the problem why that park was taken from us. And I say that emphatically because when my mentor, Buddy Keaton, passed on and they dedicated that park to him, there was nobody that stepped up to want to carry on that legacy. And I mean, I'm talking about people who are attached to the Parks Department. We all worked for Parks Department at one point in our lives because of Buddy. I was fortunate to have a 15-year career there and then moved on to other things, still working with kids to this day. But just to say, this man put his all into making sure we had a foundation, an area in which we can grow ourselves as individuals, grow our children as families, having that community feel. I started in St. John's Park in 1977 through the PAL League. And from 77 to this day, I'm still up there. So, I mean, this is a very long and it's a very intimate, it's a very important topic for me. And I know I don't have all day to talk. But I just wanted to put it out there, and I'm going to leave it with this. When you have a foundational base like that, and you have generations that come up through it, there's always got to be somebody else there ready to take on that torch. The torch has been passed, and now our flame has burnt out. Because that generation behind mine, I'm 55 years old. Now, the team is about 10 years my senior. They passed it on to us. We kept it going. There was nobody else behind us because things started changing. And this is the result of it. So I hate when people point fingers at gentrification. It's not all bad. It's what you do to keep your legacies in place, even with people coming in. It doesn't matter. Nobody's got to change it,
Appreciate that, Brother Eric. And I'll be in touch. Your words hit a note this morning, my brother. And I want to thank you for your call, for calling in, my brother. And we'll be in touch. All right, my brother?
Definitely, my brother. Brother Joe, you take it easy and tell Sister Jax I said, rest up, get well.
Hey, brother Eric, much love to you, man. And what you said was a mouthful. People really need to take in account for what you said because it carried a lot of weight. How we don't prepare to continue the legacy to move on to the generations that precede us. Man, you said a mouthful.
Yes,
We
indeed.
appreciate the call, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brothers. Have a great one. Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir.
You too, brother.
All
I
right.
wanted to let, all right, brother.
All right.
I want to just say real quick, Joe, on that is that he's right. We teach a lot of us how to be good followers. We don't teach how to be good leaders. And I'm not just building the church. I'm just not blaming the church, but we talked about that. Does it have, we put out these people that are in front, but once their head is taken, a lot of us don't know how to step into that leadership role. We got to learn to build leaders, not followers. And that's what we're very bad at. And that's what Brother Eric is talking about.
Caller, welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. Question or comment? Let's go. Freedom and Fun Friday.
Yes, this is Rhonda again. I'm just expounding on what Brother Fatim and the Brother Eric were talking about as far as in Brooklyn. Well, in the Bronx, we had the same thing called St. Mary's Park, where we played ball and everything, and people got together, and gentrification took over too. And I get that. But as I've told you plenty of times, Brother Fatim, Brother Bob Slade, he gave you that baton for a reason. And the reason I think, as I watch you, is that you're bringing people together. You may not can rectify what happened before, because even in New York City, we are divided as well. We may not want to talk about that, but we do have to as a people. And in order to come together, it's going to be people like you that will bring people together from all walks of life, whether they want to see it or not. But you're doing it with Brother Joe. You're doing it with you're doing it with women. You're doing it with different aspects of society that need to be heard. It doesn't matter where you came from. It's matter the people come behind us, because we're not going to be the recipients of the future. They are. And like I said, Brother Slade gave that baton to you for a reason. And I'm watching, and you're bringing people together no matter what. But we got to realize that it happened to all of us. You're passionate about Brooklyn. I get it, because I'm from New York City. I'm passionate about the Bronx, but they don't even have my building in the area where I grew up anymore, no more. They started with another building. When they re-gentrified that, they took down the number of the building. It no longer exists. I can't keep harping on that. I have to move forward with what we have. And you're going to be the catalyst that's going to bring people together, because you're bringing people together. You may not see it, but you're bringing people together through all walks of life. I appreciate you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Rhonda. And I appreciate those words. I appreciate it. Just the correct Brother Eric, I'm not 10 years his senior, but I am his senior on real life. I am. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud of the brother, because you just don't know. When I first saw the brother on the field, you got to realize that the stereotypes of how, when he came on the field, he had the swag of a brother that you didn't think could play ball. You think this brother was guy on the corner that you across the street on. You understand what I'm saying? It's a good brother. He just said he started with PAL. I didn't play PAL. Matter of fact, Eric don't know this, that I went to try out for PAL up there past Ebbets Field, and they wouldn't allow me to play for PAL because they said, well, you play for the Bonnies, you're a little too good for PAL. And I, and at first, it bothered me, but then I realized I had different kind of tools to play the game. I was already instructed. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm proud when he said he started back in 77, because I understand what PAL did. Denzel Washington up in Mount Vernon, money earning Mount Vernon. He talks about what the boys club. We had the boys club. We had PAL. We had YMCA. We had the YWCA. We had after school. We had so many things to put into us. And then we came in the streets and we made up our games, Ring Alivio, this, that, and the other. We supervised ourselves. We had a lot to put into us, even though we didn't have a lot. We was rich. We were rich and didn't realize how rich we were. We might have not been money rich, but we had each other and we didn't realize it. So Rhonda, thank you. I do, accept the baton from Bob Slade. I did find out what my role some years ago is to be a bridge builder, to bring people together. You hit it right on the head. That's what I do, is to try to help people, but network people and bring people together. That's my purpose in life. That's what I found out what my purpose in life was. And that's what I continue to do. So thank you, Rhonda, for those
You're
kind
the conduit,
words.
man. You're the conduit, not to use that name lightly, because there are folks out there who use that name, but you are the conduit. You are the connector. You are the one who, man, it's your time. Everybody has a time and a season. Somebody reminded me of that yesterday as we were talking about my radio career. And a person said, man, I miss you on regular terrestrial radio. And you yourself have brought up to me many a time, Brother Fatim, figure your way back into that thing. And, I'm going to say this to those who have said that to me, that said, hey, man, I wish I could hear your voice back on morning radio. You can hear me here. You just got to find a vehicle to get to me. And many a times, that's the point. We get complacent with a certain vehicle, and we feel like that's the only vehicle that can get us from point A to point B. I talk about it all the time, evolution and extinction. Sometimes you got to change. I can't ride the horse across country no more, because the horse has 4 wheels now, and it's called a car. There'll come a day that car will be an extinction. We went from chariots to, there's always evolution. And sometimes the vehicle you done got comfortable with ain't going to be the vehicle to get you to where you need to get to. So, I'm blessed to be a part of this thing.
Say that again, Joe. Say that again.
What I just said.
The vehicle. Say that again.
Yeah, the vehicle that you think gonna get you there may not be the vehicle that's gonna get you there, because extinction, man, things
Just
evolve.
like we died. This vehicle here,
right,
is, if you believe if that's what you do, this is gonna get you but so far. That's why you can't continue to just feed this physical. Right. If you don't feel the mental, the spiritual, and the emotional part, you're honestly a walking dead man and a dead woman.
What Brother Fatim said there has so much weight and relativity, because once again, you are what you eat. So if you do believe in something, once this decays, if you never fed your spirit, if you never fed your mentals, you can't expect that if you do cross over to the other side, for it to have any strength even to survive, because you haven't nourished it any at all. And I'm just wanting to, we're getting down to 15 minutes to the top of the hour. I'm getting ready to get on the road and get to Houston, as once again, like I said, this weekend, I'll be a part of an HBCU rivalry. It's really a big rivalry between Texas Southern and Southern University in the West, 2 of the perennial powerhouses. I was on an interview yesterday with Larry Chatterbox Hale, and anybody who's in Houston know Larry Chatterbox Hale from KTSU. They have their own radio station in Houston. And Houston's the number 4, 4th largest city in the nation. So, I'll be in Houston. I'll get to see, hopefully, my wonderful grandson and my beautiful daughter that lives in Houston. We're going to be out there. We're going to be in the building. But family, man, we're going to talk about this some other time. Once again, I feel great about today's show. I feel great. I always feel great, because even the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, the emotions that sometimes pour out from both of us, I know that we're here with the premises and the foundation that we always say. We're here for you to think, not what to think, not how to think, but to think, and to vet your source of your information. On another tip, and I'm going to go into this real quick for 4 minutes. An election is coming. Pay attention. Pay attention. President Obama is out there right now advocating for Vice President Kamala Harris. President Trump is out there going through the states saying what he needs to say. Pay attention. I'm with Team Harris Walls. That doesn't mean that's the team you need to be with. However, that's my team. Am I concerned? Yeah, of course I am. I'm concerned to the last moment because we were feeling like Hillary Clinton was going to win and she didn't. I am concerned. I'm concerned of the apathy. I'm concerned of the non-concern. I'm concerned of all the isms and all the ish. But at the end of the day, I am voting for who I believe will do the best job from my perspective. And I'm not saying my perspective needs to be your perspective, but that's who I'm voting for. And I'm encouraging you to go vote for whoever you feel is the best person to lead this country forward. Go to vote.org, find out your voting status, get registered, get engaged, get informed, and go vote. Brother Fatim. I actually only spent a minute.
Maybe next week we'll talk about. I told y'all at the beginning of the week something's broken out here. Something is wrong. I said it. Maybe y'all didn't hear me. Former President Barack Obama said it yesterday. Something ain't right out here. Why are, even, I don't care, misinformation, whatever, the enthusiasm, Vice President Kamala Harris had enthusiasm maybe a month and a half ago. That enthusiasm is starting to dry up. You see more black men. That's why when somebody called in here, the guy Derek from New York, and said, you're hearing more people talk about Trump, I had to agree with him. If we're deluding ourselves, we're playing with ourselves. But now I got more ammunition to stand on. Yesterday in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, former President Barack Obama said the same thing. Can't understand it. How does Trump get these folks, especially black men and other black folks, to say, I'm going to vote? Because something is wrong. Something is not resonating. And I told y'all that. So next week, maybe we need to have a conversation about that. I don't want to get in here and start saying, well, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, Donald Trump that. We've been saying that for years now.
This is true. This is
so
true.
The bottom line, are we going to have an honest conversation? Or I don't want to have the conversation because I don't need to keep going, well, Trump this, and how are you going to vote for Trump where the enthusiasm is drying up? Something is not right. Is it part of it? People don't see a woman or a black woman? Is it a part of her prosecutor where the misinformation, she locked up black people? It's something. Or it could be a combination of something. But it's something out here that making common sense go out the window. And if we don't talk about it, and at least open up this dialogue to get to those people that have these feelings and have some conversation about it, then we are not going to reach those people that are on the fence or are not going to vote for her and don't see it that way because of misinformation. We got to have that conversation, and we got to deal with the problem with us and why versus the problem with Donald Trump. Because we can be say till we blue in the face what's wrong with Donald Trump. It is not resonating across the aisle, and the enthusiasm is drying up.
Well, the sadness of this is, and you remember we had a show not too very long ago, I think this week, I talked about this Twilight Zone feeling. It's really saddened to me that, watch this, yesterday, I'll give you a prime example. Yesterday, former President Donald Trump gave a speech in Detroit, Michigan, where he insulted Detroit to the utmost level of insults. He said, if you don't get me in office, every place is going to be like Detroit. Y'all going to be in trouble. How can you give a speech in the city and literally say, this city is horrible, this city is terrible, and if you don't vote for me, the whole United States of America is going to look like the city? Because people have pride in their city, regardless how bad you may look at it. I can go and pull up crime stats from Lafayette, Louisiana, and I probably, if I put those crime stats in comparison to New York City, the crime stats, pure number wise, will look totally different. But if I do that one word that folks don't like using, per capita, see, we try to compare apples to apples, but the apples to apples only apples to apples if it's the same number of people. So we try to say, oh, look at this crime rate in Chicago. It's horrible. Per capita, it's bad. It's very bad. However, if you put that into an equation where it's equal to where you live, you might find that the crime is either the same or maybe where you live, crime is worse. You know, but to have this man say, man, I'm here in Detroit, and I think Detroit is so bad that if you don't elect me, everywhere going to be Detroit. And nobody's, it took the governor of Michigan to say, Detroit people are going to remember what you just said to their face come election day. And I'll say this, I'm going to send Brother Fatim. I was yesterday privileged to sit down for about an hour and a half with Dr. Rick Swanson. And Dr. Swanson is getting ready to leave for a sabbatical for about 10 days. But when he comes back, he has committed to coming on here. And he is a political science professor. And to really explain, and he explained it to me better than anyone. He said, you have polls on the left, polls on the right. But he gave me a resource which combines all that information and data and gives you what he calls fair and balanced information to let you know where we're really at. They make comparisons. It's a great website. I'm going to send it to Brother Fatim because I think it's a great tool we can use as we move forward to make people understand. And Brother Fatim, you are absolutely 100% correct. You hit the nail on the head. Something ain't right. And former President Barack Obama verified what you said a few days ago, yesterday, when he said something ain't right. So with that being said, and it being 7 minutes to the top of the hour, brother, I wish you the best weekend. I hope you have fun, enjoy yourself. I'll be in H-Town having the time of my life. Let's get some closing words and let's get up out of here. Let's go.
Keep us here. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. No.
Yeah. Keep us here. So I want to expound on what Brother Eric said, and then I'll give my closing words a little long, but I want to expound on what Brother Eric said about how it's not about gentrification. When we was talking about St. John's Park out in Brooklyn, New York, on Troy and Bergen Street, across the street from Albany Projects. And he was talking about someone that was in a leadership role. And when they passed that on by either passing or what, I don't know the situation, no one stepped into that role. And we lost something that was an institution. And a lot of us step into roles that we don't know. We heard of them. Our parents raised us, but we were not parents until we became parents. A lot of us are scared to step into that role of leadership until you step in it. I did not know anything about being on a PTA, but I talked the talk back in the day. You got to put in for your children. So I joined the PTA. But then I had somebody pushing me, Fatim, that's just not enough. You need to be on the school leadership team. I don't know a damn thing about PTA, a damn thing about school leadership team, but I did both. And then I became that leader. I didn't know nothing. I produced a talk show. I worked with giants. I produced giants. Bob Slade, the late Bob Slade, the third answer, James Mtume, and attorney, former judge Bob Pickett, and still Reverend Al Sharpton. I didn't know a damn thing about hosting a talk show, but I was thrust into it. Sometimes you got to grab the bull by the horns and go with it. Will you fall down? Yes, but like Reverend Sharpton said, it's not about falling down. It's about getting back up and continuing. So Brother Eric, you hit it right on the head this morning. Thank you for calling in. With that being said, this is my closing words. As we close today's show, I want to leave you with a reflection on what it truly means to be a leader. A leader is not just someone who holds a title or stands in front of a crowd. A leader is someone who serves, sacrifices, and fights for the people they represent, even when it's difficult, even when it's unpopular, A leader has a vision for change and the courage to act on that vision, putting others before themselves. True leadership isn't about power or prestige. It's about purpose and passion. It's about lifting others up and being a voice for those who can't speak for themselves. It's about standing firm in your principles, even when the odds are stacked against you, and guiding others towards justice, equality, and truth. Even the thing I didn't know about sickle cell, but I learned to advocate for my wife and became a leader and became an advocate for sickle cell. So let's ask ourselves, are we being the kind of leaders our communities need? Are we committed to the work, the struggle, and the journey for real change? Because in times like these, we need leaders who are unafraid to speak up, unafraid to stand up, and unafraid to move us forward. Thank you again for tuning into hashtag Truth Be Told. Let's continue to work together, fight together, and rise together. Until next time, stay strong and stay committed. God bless everybody. Peace.
That's my brother. That's my brother from another mother, Brother Fatim. Family, 3 minutes to the top of the hour. All I can say is what I always say every show. I end it the same way for a reason. Because in my heart, that's what I really want for everyone. I want us, for the greater good of all, to be better today than we were yesterday. And I want everyone to do something today for somebody today that there's no earthly way they could pay them back, even if they wanted to, because it was given freely. It wasn't given for a click, a like, or a share. It was given to make that person's life better, because you're just that wonderful human being that wants to see other human beings not suffer. You want to see other human beings do well. Remember, there is no secret what God can do, what he has done for others, he will and he can do for you. But when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. Be blessed. Have a great weekend. We'll be back for Make It Happen Monday if the Lord say the same. We up out of here. Peace.
Uptown got its hustlers, the Bowery got its bums, 42nd Street got Big Jim, a Walker, he a bull shooting son of a gun. Yeah, he's big and dumb as a man can come, but he's stronger than a country horse. And when the bad folks all get together at night, you know they all call Big Jim Boss, just because. And they say you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, you don't pull a mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. I do da dee 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 dee. Well, out of South Alabama come a country boy, sit looking for a man named Jim. I am a bull shooting boy, my name is Willie McCoy, but down at home they call me Slim. Yeah, I'm looking for the king of 42nd Street. He drive on a drop top Cadillac. Last week he took all my money, and it may sound funny, but I come to get my money back. And everybody say, Jack, don't you know that you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, you don't pull the mask off that old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. Well, the hush fell over the pool room, and Jimmy come popping in off the street. And when the cutting was done, the only part that wasn't bloody was the soles of the big man's feet. Yeah, he was caught in about 100 places, and he was shot in a couple more. And you better believe I sung a different kind of story when a Big Jim hit the floor. Oh, yeah, they saying you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, you don't pull the mask off the old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Slim. Yeah, Big Jim got his hat. Find out where it's at. It's not hustling people strange to you, even if you do got a two-piece custom made for you. Yeah, you don't tug